Hi, welcome to Learn English and Practice with Marie. Today we're going to do Advanced Vocabulary Builder, lesson number 106. We'll go through 10 advanced words and talk about their definitions, parts of speech, and review a couple of examples for each. We'll finish with a story and a quick review. This is a series, so if you like this video, subscribe for more. Let's get started. First, I'll read the words. Combustion, impudent, dispatch, grandiloquent, prudence, travesty, pithy, zealot, calibrate, encore. Combustion. This means an act or instance of burning as a noun, violent agitation as a noun, a chemical reaction between substances typically resulting in heat or a flame. So this word combustion is often used in a chemistry setting and has to do with something catching on fire or kind of exploding. And you can use this in the context of fire and a reaction, but you can also use it a little more loosely to refer to some sort of agitation happening, particularly in social settings. So in a protest, for example, the crowd might experience a moment of combustibility or combustion if someone instigates violence in the crowd and then all of a sudden it's a violent protest. Examples are improper combustion in engines can lead to harmful emissions and reduced efficiency. Don't light a match near a gas pump due to the risk of combustion. Impudent. This means marked by contemptuous or cocky boldness or disregard of others as an adjective. Insolent as an adjective. So typically this word is used to put someone down. It's definitely not a compliment. This is a word with some negative connotations. So you might call a know-it-all child impudent. And this word is typically used to refer to children and young people who are acting more confidently or like they know more than would typically be expected of them. Definitely, if someone was to use this word with me or with anyone, you could easily view it as an insult. Examples are, the student's impudent behavior towards the teacher earned him a trip to the principal's office. His impudent attitude made it difficult for anyone to work with him in the team. Dispatch. This means to send off or away with promptness or speed as a verb. To kill with quick efficiency as a verb. To dispose of something, such as a task, rapidly or efficiently as a verb. And it can also be used as a noun and capturing many of those same meanings. So in the musical In the Heights, there is a character named Benny who works at a taxi dispatch. His job is to dispatch taxis all over the city. So he's in charge of telling the taxis where to go and how to avoid difficult traffic. Examples are, the commander decided to dispatch additional troops to assist in the rescue mission. The manager was quick to dispatch the technician to fix the broken machinery. Grandiloquent. This means lofty, extravagantly colorful, pompous or bombastic style, manner, or quality, especially in language. So being grandiloquent is being overly flowerful, especially with language and the way you express yourself. Take, for example, Mr. Collins in Pride and Prejudice. He's a character who always tries to seem very important, even in instances where it's very clear that he is below the social stature of those around him. So he's constantly using large words, acting overly proper, and kind of boosting himself up with extravagant acts. Examples are, his grandiloquent speech impressed some, but others found it excessive and insincere. She preferred straightforward communication over his grandiloquent manner of speaking. Prudence. This means the ability to govern and discipline oneself by the use of reason as a noun. So to exercise prudence or to be prudent is to have some sort of restraint. It's to be kind of conservative. Some of the first settlers, European settlers in America, were the Puritans, and the Puritans were people who were extreme in their religious beliefs. They wore plain clothes. They followed a lot of rules in their day to day lives. They definitely were a prudent group of folks. Examples are acting with prudence, she saved money each month to prepare for unexpected expenses. Exercising prudence, he double checked all the details before signing the agreement. Travesty. This means a debased, distorted, or grossly inferior imitation as a noun. Or it can mean a burlesque translation or literary or artistic imitation, usually grotesquely incongruous in style, treatment, or subject matter as a noun. So there's a difference between something that's a tragedy versus a travesty. Something that's tragic is really, really bad. It's horrible, terrible, awful. The difference, however, is like the travesty is also awful, but a big part of why it's awful is that it's an imitation of something good. It's a really terrible interpretation of something that is actually, fantastic. So if I went to a theatrical performance where the actors were all mixing up their lines, hadn't rehearsed, the costuming was terrible, I'd say, well, this is a travesty. This play was supposed to be fantastic, but look what they're offering. Examples are, many people considered the unfair trial a travesty of justice. His attempt to fix the car was such a travesty that it ended up more damaged than before. Pithy. This means having substance and point as an adjective, tersely cogent as an adjective, consisting of or abounding in pith as an adjective. So I kind of love this word. It means being short, to the point, and doing so in a way that's kind of fun. So Benjamin Franklin is an important historical figure in American history, and he has a reputation for being very pithy. He's witty, he keeps things fairly short and tight and enjoyable. So a little quote from him is, "Lost time is never found again." You could definitely call that phrase pithy. If you look up some of the quotes from Mark Twain, he's another historical figure, in this case an author, who tends to be very pithy a lot of the time. Examples are, her pithy remarks always got straight to the point and left a strong impression. He had a talent for writing pithy statements that captured complex ideas simply. Zealot. This means someone marked by fervent partisanship for a person, a cause, or an ideal as a noun. A zealous person, especially a fanatical person, as a noun. So someone who is extreme in their religion could be considered a zealot. I know on some college campuses in the United States, there tend to be religious extremists walking around with signs that have provocative messages that are designed to intimidate and spark argument. So those people who are so extreme in their religious beliefs that they'll march around college campuses with signs that are designed to offend and upset people would definitely be considered zealots. Examples are, the zealot refused to listen to anyone who disagreed with his extreme views. The religious zealot tried to convince everyone around him to follow his strict beliefs. Calibrate. This means to ascertain the caliber of something, as a verb, to adjust precisely for a particular function, as a verb, to measure precisely, as a verb. And there are additional measurement-related meanings. In fact, there are so many, it felt tedious to put them all on here for you. So to calibrate something is to kind of use it to adjust something to make it work properly. Take, for example, a meat thermometer. So a meat thermometer is a special type of thermometer that you use to temp food or seafood to make sure that you've cooked it properly and to an appropriate temperature, but you have to calibrate it. So you can dunk it in ice water and then run it under boiling water to adjust its ability to sense temperatures. Funny little tidbit is that since I'm not old, but I'm a little older, I used to use GPS navigation quite a bit to get around. And the older versions of GPS navigation would verbally tell you recalibrating when you made a wrong turn. It was recalculating your route, and I make a lot of wrong turns. So sometimes in my day-to-day life, I'll say, oh, recalibrating, when I'm trying to get reoriented or get refocused on something I'm doing. Examples are: the technician needed to calibrate the machine to ensure it produced accurate results. Regularly calibrating the equipment helps maintain its efficiency and accuracy. Encore. This means a demand for repetition or reappearance made by an audience as a noun. A second achievement, especially that surpasses the first, as a noun. So it's almost become the norm now in the United States that, and in many places in the world, that at the end of a concert, especially a major concert, the performer will come back on stage for an encore performance of at least one or two songs. So an encore is basically an extra little performance at the end as a bonus. And you can also use this in the context of someone kind of making a reemergence or a reappearance. Like an author might write another book, and that would be considered their encore to whatever the first book it was that they wrote. But typically that word's only used if their second book is spectacular, if that second attempt is really, really great. Examples are: the audience loved the performance so much that they demanded an encore from the band. The comedian's encore was filled with even more laughs than his original set. So let's read a story to practice the words. In the city of Farron, machines powered everything. But one day, the city's main power plant started to fail, causing panic. Leo, a young and talented engineer, was quickly dispatched to fix the problem. He was known for his impudent behavior and pithy remarks, but he was also the best at what he did. As Leo worked, a crowd gathered. Among them was a man named Andrew, a zealot leader who hated technology. He gave a grandiloquent speech calling machines a travesty and saying they were destroying their way of life. The crowd started to agree with him, making Leo's job even harder. Despite the noise, Leo stayed calm. He used Prudence, carefully checking every detail and calibrating the machine to prevent a dangerous combustion. Andrew's followers kept shouting, but Leo focused on his task. Finally, the power plant came back to life, and the city's lights shone bright once again. The crowd cheered, asking for an encore, grateful for the light and warmth. Leo's quick thinking and skill saved the day, proving that technology, when used wisely, could be a force for good. So, let's go through these words one more time. I'll go quickly through them and spell as I go. Combustion. Combustion is an instance of burning, violent agitation, or some sort of chemical reaction. Impudent. Impudent is marked with cocky boldness and disregard of others, insolence. Dispatch. Dispatch is to send someone off with promptness, to efficiently kill someone, or to dispose of something quickly. Grandiloquent, Grandiloquent, is using lofty, extravagant, pompous style or mannerisms, especially with respect to language. Prudence, Prudence, is the ability to govern or discipline oneself using reason. Travesty, Travesty, is a really inadequate or terrible imitation. Pithy, Pithy, is having substance and a point, or very cogent. Zealot, Zealot, is someone who's fervently partisan or fanatical. Calibrate, Calibrate, is to assess the caliber of something or to measure precisely. Encore, Encore, is a demand for repetition or reappearance or a second performance. Again, those words are combustion, impudent, dispatch, grandiloquent, prudence, travesty, pithy, zealot, calibrate, encore. Great job today. There are other videos like this on this channel, and more are coming soon. I would love to see you practicing in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll put some additional videos and playlists right here. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye.